I used to walk up the stairs and have pain in my knee. Do you ever have that when you walk upstairs?
No.
I used to have pain in my knee walking up the stairs. And
Just from stairs?
Just from walking upstairs. And I didn't know why. And then I read his book and he's like, look, when you walk up a step, you got to keep your toes straight and turn your knee out. I was like, really? And I started doing that. My pain was gone immediately.
Keep your toes straight. Like toes
turn
forward
your knee out.
and turn your knee out.
Turn your knee to the outside. So he says, look, this is your ACL. See this here? Mm-hmm. This is your ACL. Cross your ACL.
Right.
Okay, that's the ACL. You put it in your kneecap. Okay,
right.
That's your knee. When you turn your knee to the outside, look, it tightens it up.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
That takes away all the slack. So what happens when you're going up when you're going up the stairs, your ACL is just jiggling around and getting sheared. Ooh. But when you tighten it up, you go up, you're secured. So he calls it creating torque. He's a brilliant book, man. He's a brilliant guy.
So
incredible.
Even when you run hills, you should do that.
Absolutely. You should always be aligned. Whenever your body's under pressure or stress, whether you're wrestling or whatnot, you should always have torque. So like, look, grab your shirt like this, okay? Grab your shirt. Okay. He gives an example in the book. Excellent example. So now grab the shirt and twist it here. Create torque. Now look, you have a much more a stable grip. You know,
sure.
a judoka is always going to grab the lapels and twist them.
Right.
So when you grab the bar, let's say you're going to do a bench press. Maybe, it's not the best exercise or not, but the principle is still at work. When you grab the bar, you should be torquing the bar.
Almost.
When you're doing push-ups, your hands are on the mat and you're torquing. Even though your hands are not turning, literally, you're just torquing.
Right.
When you do that, you feel that all the slack is eaten up. There's no more slack. There's no more trampoline effect. There's no more jiggling. Everything's tight. The system is tight. And it's very, very important that the system be tight and that the weight be on the muscles. So if you're properly aligned when you're doing a maneuver, the weight is on the bone, not on the tendons. So if you put your weight like this on your fingers, you'll see that the bone is carrying the weight.
Right.
If you bend your bones here, look, if you're unaligned and you start putting pressure, now you see your muscles are starting to work over time.
Right.
So when I'm carrying weight, I need to have it on my bones and or my muscles, never on the tendons and ligaments.
They say that with backpackers. You know what backpackers do?
No.
They keep their legs as stiff as possible, and they take short steps. Like guys who are mountaineer guys, they don't take like big high steps. They kind of keep their legs stiff and they walk with their skeleton.
Right.
They try to let their skeleton.
You see me, I'm sitting on this chair. This chair has no muscles, but it's holding me up because of the structure. Yeah. Structure is a type of strength. So if you take an egg and you try to squeeze it in a certain way, you can't break it. You ever seen that experiment? Why? Because you're actually trying to crush a cylinder. To crush a cylinder takes a tremendous amount of force. However, to break a stick in half takes a very little amount of force. Why? It has a lot to do with the structure. If you're trying to compress matter on itself, it won't. It will take a tremendous amount of force to do that. Tremendous amount of power. Take if you want to separate the material by bending it at the middle, it's very easy. But to compress material on itself, it takes a tremendous amount of energy.
Right. So anytime you're going outside of your alignment, you're allowing things to compress.
Yeah, that's why it makes so much sense to keep your legs straight when you're hiking. It's like a horse that sleeps, right? He's sleeping